This episode of the Loyal Sun Show is brought to you by Rendine Consulting. If you've listened to us for any amount of time, you know all about Rendine Consulting's commitment to the Pitt Athletics program and brand, and how much they've meant to the Loyal Suns. That's Rendine Consulting, providing investment managers assistance with technology integration. Visit www.rendineconsulting.com for more information. That's www.rendineconsulting.com.
Welcome back to the Loyal Sun Show. We've got a special episode for you this week, a bit of a shortened episode. We didn't want you to do all of your last-minute Christmas shopping without your favorite podcast, or your least favorite, whichever. We didn't all get together to talk about all the news you probably already know, if you do follow the program pretty closely. But we didn't want to leave you hanging until after Christmas to get your Pitt Athletics fix. We had the opportunity to talk to one of the newest Panthers, a transfer Panther, if you will, Donovan McMillon. Donovan McMillon's a Peters Township product who spent the last 2 years at the University of Florida and was one of the biggest names in the transfer portal this offseason. Donovan was kind enough to give us a good chunk of his time. He's getting ready for Christmas, buying presents, moving all of his stuff back home, trying to find an apartment. But he gave us his time. We chopped it up about his decision to come home to Pittsburgh, a bit about just his athletic background, and a whole bunch of other stuff that you'll just have to listen to find out. But it was an awesome conversation. I think Pitt fans, if you aren't already, will be extremely excited to see Donovan wear the blue and gold after hearing this. He's going to fill a big void for the Panthers with the departures of Brandon Hill and Eric Hallett, and a lot of talent leaving the defense. But he'll be a part of a bit of a local resurgence with a lot of young Whitfield and City League guys on that Pitt defense. So it'll be a lot of fun to watch. But before that, you got to listen to his first audio interview as a Pitt Panther. So without further ado, Donovan McMillon.
Please welcome on to the show your newest Pitt Panther, a safety out of Peters Township, Donovan McMillon. Donovan, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We're feeling pretty good. The transfer portal and all the good recruitment news has gotten us pretty pumped as Pitt fans, and you're a big part of that. So why don't you tell us, what has the last couple days looked like for you?
Oh, it's just been a bunch of excitement, to be honest with you. Like, people have talked to me about answer my phone and everything like that. I've just really just been able to just sit back and finally breathe for once. Once I declared the portal, it was crazy, like craziness. Obviously, we'll talk about that in a second. And then I went through the whole school thing, and then a few days later, I decided I'm like, okay, I want to make the move. Made the move to Pitt, and then my phone was just blowing up again. So I've just been able to finally just sit back and relax and get close and just be close to my family, just sitting back here, just getting ready for the new beginning.
And you mentioned it there. You said as soon as you entered the portal, things got crazy. So how does that look for us, people who haven't been through that experience? I know when Keaton Slovis, when he originally transferred to Pitt, he said his name was in the portal, and a minute later he was getting texts. Is that what it was like for you? Was it immediate?
Yeah. So the whole process goes. So I entered the portal for so I posted about the portal. So I wanted to go in on a Monday, but once you announce and you have to put your paperwork in, it takes about 48 hours for it to go through. So I announced, I got a bunch of follows from a bunch of coaches and everything. I know that I heard works of other coaches hitting up, my Florida coaches or my family or anything like that, but they couldn't be hitting me up, because it's not legal until your name is officially in. And then it was I think I talked about, it was 9:14 a.m. on Wednesday is when my name hit the portal. And then within seconds, as soon as my name hit, I know Coach Sanders hit me up. I know West Virginia called me, and just a bunch of other schools called me all at one time. And I didn't answer my phone for a good 3-4 hours. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is insane. I think I had at least 18 to 20 calls within the first 15 minutes.
And what do those communications look like? Is it a little bit professional where they're like, hey, love your game, would love to set up some time to talk about the University of Pittsburgh? Or is it hey man, come here. Young man, come to Pitt?
Yeah. well, the way it went with like a majority of people is like it's like all connections based. So like anyone who really hit me up at the beginning were coaches that I talked to in the process before, like through my recruitment process at high school. So that was how it worked at first. And then within the first 24 hours, that's when you started getting like other schools and other coaches that, that hit you up that I wouldn't have known before. But like throughout the whole NCAA thing and everything like that, all these coaches are moving around so fast, and this place one year and this place another year. So like I'm getting hit up by coaches that like have in my phone, like say it was like a Michigan coach, but he's really at another school right now. So it was crazy just, having to categorize and find out what school is hitting me up whenever like you were like before that. But like when it came to the whole Pitt thing, all the coaches that recruited me before all have been there. So it was perfect when it came to communication with that.
You mentioned earlier that you started getting followed by a ton of coaches and players. That is something that we as, very intent fans follow very closely. And we seem to think there's a direct correlation with like, oh, there's this transfer receiver and 5 Pitt players and 4 coaches just followed him and he followed them back. And we seem to think that that's an indication of interest. Can you speak to that at all? Is there really something with social, like a correlation between social media activity and interest in the portal and in recruiting?
I would think so. Like you said, the following. I know coaches followed me throughout the last 3-4 games of the year because, they're like, they see a guy who's playing a lot, but might not be happy with the whole program or something like that. Like they'll know that was happening with me and a lot of my friends, like coaches trying to like show that they have like little interest soon. So like, they're like stuck in the back of your head whenever you do decide to either leave or not. So that does make a little correlation to it. I feel like it happened a lot more in recruiting for me as well, because, recruiting base, it's like all, you never done it before. It's about the football thing, but it's all about the love and everything as well. Like you're looking at facilities, you look at this, you're looking at that. But whenever it comes to transfer portal, it's really just business. Like you're talking business, you only have 1 second opportunity to, go shine and do what you want to do. And that's where it comes down to it when like the whole following thing, it happens a little bit in portal, but like it happens a lot more in like, recruiting.
Gotcha. And you kind of touched on it there a little bit. Something I wanted to ask was how the process is different now when you're entering the portal after you've been in college for a couple of years, and then versus, you're coming out of high school, you're getting all these big name schools coming after you. I'm sure you're shell shocked at some of the names that were coming after you. But looking at it now, where do you think things changed specifically with Pitt? And what are you looking at Pitt, where I'm sure you had no shortage of suitors in the portal, but why was Pitt so attractive to you now? Because you seemed to make the decision fairly quickly after you entered.
Yeah. There was like many reasons that came down to it, to be honest with you. Just starting off with, Coach Sanders was like literally the first person to call me. He showed that he had like immediate like interest in me coming in and playing in his defense. And I really appreciated that. And like, it was like, okay, that's one school like that could be really just fit perfectly if everything aligns, being close to home, now that my family doesn't have to go take 2 flights to get to Florida and my dad can't even go to sleep after his football games because they're getting ready to go fly out at like 6 a.m. That aspect of it. And then just, you see that how aggressive and like how aggressive base and Coach Sanders' defense really is. Obviously, Coach Narduzzi as well, and that just really like opened my eyes to it. Because I was in a lot different defense. In college football, every defense is a little similar, but like just the way that Pitt uses their defense of like blitzing like a lot of guys, and just being able to put pressure on the quarterback and everything to make the safeties have a lot more production in the pass game. And that just opened my eyes to it. Like 21 interceptions in 2 years. Like that's something that is almost unheard of. And that just got me really excited, just seeing, guys in the past like DeMar and Paris and all of them getting all that production. And then it came to, Hallett and all of them as well. It really opened my eyes to, I want to be that next guy to be able to go in and have production like that.
Hey, Panther Nation. Have you ever crashed your spin scooter going down Cardiac Hill?
or wiped out on an icy sidewalk in South Oakland? Have you ever been hit by a bus crossing Forbes Avenue? Well, you may not have to pay that hospital bill on your own. If you're hurt in an accident, pick up the phone and call Guido at Guerrera Law. Guido Guerrera is a University of Pittsburgh Law School grad, Pitt football superfan, and experienced personal injury attorney who's licensed in Pennsylvania and Ohio. And it is 100% free to call him for consultation on your personal injury case. So the next time you get rear-ended in Oakland rush hour traffic, or if you fall down the stairs at Peters, call Guido. All joking aside, Oakland and the world can be a very dangerous place. If you need legal help, talk to Guido. He'll treat you like a fellow Pitt fan and never like a number. 412-229-7757 is the number to call. That's 412-229-7757 to call Guido. You can also contact Guerrera Law at guerreralaw.com. That's Gurrera. Call Guido today. So, just to clarify real quick, you do project as a safety in Pitt's defense, correct? I know they love to move the secondary around or put some weight on someone and play him at linebacker, but it's going to be safety?
Yeah, they see me at like all three positions, field, boundary, and, little nickel as well whenever they get into their third down packages.
Love that. Love that. So how much did the impending departures of Pitt's phenomenal two outgoing safeties, Brendan Hill and Eric Hallett, play into that you saw that opportunity coming up and that kind of sweetened the deal for coming to Pitt?
Yeah, it was just an add-on to it, to be honest with you. It would have been awesome, to have the opportunity to play with those guys, because they're veteran guys and everything like that. But, them leaving just it shows that, that they're getting ready for other younger guys to come up and really take care of that defense. And that's what really excites me because, I'm going to be able to, play with, newer guys in the defense, just like how I'll be newer in the defense, which is pretty cool because it really builds chemistry that way.
Some of those guys you'll be playing with, too, are some other local standouts. There's a lot of guys in your class. Obviously, that class of 21 was loaded with Elliott, Nakai Johnson, Dorian Ford. Have you got to talk to any of those guys about, like, kind of a reunion of the Whippeal talent coming together?
Yeah, we've talked a little bit. It's just more business at this point. Like, we're just excited to go, win, because an ACC championship last year was really exciting for them. I wish I got to be a part of that, but we got to bring another one back next year. So that's what the whole plan. So.
And another local guy, you referenced, DeMar and Paris playing there, but I know DeMar playing for the Buffalo Bills now. He rocked the number 3 at Pitt. I saw in some of your recruiting pictures you were rocking that number 3. But have you got the opportunity to talk to DeMar? I know you guys are both Jasper athletes, work alongside Jordan Rooney with that. So have you had the opportunity to talk to DeMar about Pitt and just in general playing the safety position?
Now, we used to talk a lot more, back whenever I was in like my first recruiting process, but we haven't really talked much since then. Like since the hitting in the transfer portal, he's deep in his season right now, going like killing it right now, starting everything like that. But like I know Jordan's talked to him about me being there and stuff like that. But we'll probably end up reconnecting real soon about that, like about the whole situation and the excitement about it. But like I've been just letting him do his thing. He's killing it, being one of the best safeties in the league right now. So
I guess that's fair. He is trying to win a Super Bowl right now. He's on one of the best teams in the NFL. So I'm sure he appreciates you giving him space.
And he's sharing, the field with Dane Jackson, another Pitt product. Pitt has had I don't want to even call it a string of luck because obviously there's thousands of hours of hard work and preparation that goes into it. But
right.
Pitt's done a phenomenal job putting safeties and cornerbacks into the NFL. From your perspective, how much does that impact your decision in transferring, and how much of the decision is, I want to win college football games and chase conference championships, and how much of it is the ability for these programs to put you into the pros?
Yeah, those both those points right there are like two other main reasons that I made the decision to come to Pitt. Coach Sanders, he's like 5 for 5, 6 for 6. I don't know which ones he counts, which ones he doesn't, but like he's like 100% from the field. Like he's getting guys in the league, and they're producing the league. They're not just getting the league; they're producing the league, and that really excited me. And then when it comes to the whole winning thing, like my whole life, like when it comes to wrestling, football, everything, like I won. I was excited to be on a team where I could win and be productive with my teammates and everything like that. And like I feel like almost like no shame or no throne at anything, but like, I feel like I lost a little bit of that in the past 2 years. Just not being able to win at a high rate and just have that excitement of winning, and just seeing that Pitt's been consistently in the top 25 and being able to be in these big bowl games and ACC championship, that really excited me. And I just want to go win. That's what I want to do. I want to win. Like really.
We love to hear that. I know the ACC championship run for us as fans was like just amazing. And I know some fans to a certain degree kind of wish that would have translated to more recruiting success, but that kind of shows us right there what it does, even if it's not directly to the high school guys. It's guys like you that are seeing that on-field success. Even this year, where I think a lot of Pitt fans would have been disappointed with 8-4 this year, but I know you mentioned like with the success and how good they've looked over the last 2 years, that was a big point for you. So I definitely think we're starting to see that come to fruition a little bit, especially with these local guys like you, some guys who are getting to see. I know when we were younger, Pitt was almost exclusively 6-6, 7-5. So it's nice to see them turn the tide a little bit with Narduzzi.
Especially when we're comparing Pitt to a pretty storied program like Florida, and that being the opportunity to win conference championships, making Pitt potentially more attractive than a school like Florida. Not to put words into your mouth, but that's just for me. That makes me feel warm and fuzzy.
I feel you.
So for Pitt fans who haven't got to see you play much, maybe they've watched some of your high school highlights or haven't seen any of you. Who would you say you play like? What would you say your play style is like? If you could compare yourself to someone, or just give us a little bit of a scouting report of what your game looks like.
I think I compare myself to my favorite player in the NFL, which is Tyrann Mathieu. His nickname in college was the Honey Badger. Just this fierce guy who's a playmaker and just has a nose for the ball. And I see myself as that. I feel like I'm a heat-seeking missile, if you would say so. I'm a tackler who comes down and tries to hit people as hard as I possibly can, and that correlates to my whole wrestling background as well. And I see myself being a guy who can go up and go get the ball. Like that's something that I've come to. I played receiver in high school as well, so that always excited me. And I'm always trying. If I get my hands on the ball, I'm trying to get in the end zone. So. Yeah.
Any chance we see you in the return game or anything like that? Use that athleticism.
Crazy you said that. I really was talking to my dad about that the other day. I was like, "Ooh, I would love to see myself in that." Because I've been off that the past 2 years, but I don't know. That's something I could talk to the dudes about. So.
Are you or someone you know looking for work in a recession-proof industry? Are you someone that's interested in things like having health care, having a 401k, immediate PTO accrual, an employee assistance program, and referral bonuses? Our newest sponsor, Haddad Accelerated Delivery, an Amazon delivery partner, is looking for safety-minded and dependable drivers to join their delivery service team. Be a part of a company that will encourage self-ownership and award bonuses based on exceptional safety and delivery efforts. This is the ideal gig for individuals seeking full-time work or students interested in making some pretty good money during breaks. If you or someone you know is safety-focused, hardworking, organized, efficient, and team-oriented, text HADD to 464-646 to apply. I understand that is an impossible string of letters and numbers, so here it is again. That's HADD to 464-646. For a job that's the total package, get it? Because it's deliveries. Haddad Accelerated Delivery is the place for you.
So you mentioned your background as a wrestler. You won over 100 matches in 3 years at Peters Township, and you came in second in states your senior year, correct?
My junior year.
Your junior year, sorry. So typically I know at our high school the football coaches would tell all the linemen to wrestle in the off season and all of the skilled position players to run track. So I feel like we don't see a ton of skill guys, secondary guys that are as successful as you wrestling. How would you say, and you alluded to it a little bit, how would you say that has impacted your game in terms of football?
Oh yeah, it just when it comes down to wrestling, there's a lot of things that go into it. Wrestling is such a leveraged game. Lowest man wins and everything like that with your hips and everything, and that correlates to the whole football thing. But when it comes down to it, it's really just a mindset. I think wrestling is one of the hardest sports out there. You're going in there for 6-7 minutes and you're fighting against someone else, and you can't blame anyone except yourself on the outcome. And it's mano y mano. You're going in there and you're just trying to win your own one-on-one. And I think that correlates to football because it's 11-on-11 game, but everyone's just trying to win their one-on-one. Because if everyone wins their one-on-one, that's a positive play for your side of the ball. You know what I mean? So that's where I think it all comes together when it comes to wrestling. And just, yeah, for sure.
Was wrestling something you wanted to do, or was that something your dad? I know your dad's a coach. Is that something he pushed you to do?
No, I wrestled. I started wrestling before I played football. I started wrestling when I was 5, and I had to make a decision between wrestling and football. Obviously, football because football is just the thing that's been in my heart since I can. But yeah, wrestling was a big thing, and it really did stink that I had to forego my senior season to early enroll. But I had to do what I had to do because that was the plan. Go play football, and it was an exciting opportunity to leave high school early and go start college in January.
I'm sure you didn't miss all the crash dieting and going jogging in a plastic bag or anything to cut weight.
Yeah,
To put on weight.
My junior year is my freshman sophomore year. I cut weight. I wrestled 132 my freshman year, 152 my sophomore year. But then my junior year, I was like, I'm gonna go play football. I started deciding that. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go into the gym and I'm gonna go lift weights every morning, go on a run every morning. And I think that helped me, beat most of my competition because these guys are cutting weight, these guys are tired, and I'm out there eating a hoagie before a match, all jacked up and had a lot of energy. So it helped a lot for sure.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. So going back to football, what does the next couple weeks look like for you? Are you enrolled for the spring semester, and how does kind of acclimating to Oakland and the Pitt program, how does that look for you after Christmas?
Yeah, as of right now, I'm going through and organizing majority of my stuff that I have in here from driving up a few days ago. I actually fly back to Florida tonight, and I will end up driving back up with my friend in 2 days with the rest of my stuff. And throughout the next week, I'm trying to get myself an apartment and everything like that. When it comes to the whole football aspect of it, I'm trying to learn the defense as much as I can over the phone with coach, and get ready to enroll in classes in January, and just get ready to go. Really, it's time to go. That's what I'm excited about. Get in the weight room, get on the field, and just really get myself ready for the pit grind. So
now that you're back home, for the time being, that's a brutal fly down and drive back, I must say.
Yeah, that is rough.
Yeah, 13 hours. So
Jesus.
Whew, I don't envy you right now. But
No.
Now that you're back, outside of football, outside of Pitt, what are you most excited to be back for? Is it certain foods that you didn't have down in Florida? Is it the friends, the family? I mean, that's the easy answer. So tell me something that we wouldn't expect that you're excited to be back in Pittsburgh for, because I know it ain't the cold weather.
Well, I was excited to see snow again for the first time in a while. That was pretty exciting. Obviously, the family and friends, friends from high school, everything. That's exciting. Just being able to, have the opportunity to get out of practice and get to one of my brother's football wrestling matches, or, their baseball games as well. That's going to really excite me, because they're all three of them are young guys who, are going through the whole process that I went through, but they got to see me do it. But I never really got a chance to see them do it. So I'm excited to be able to have the opportunity to go see them and do that. But when it comes down to something y'all wouldn't know, I'm excited for. I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I think Pittsburgh has a lot of really good foods when it comes down to it. And I'm really excited to, be able to like go on an adventure and be able to see all the new, see all the places I've never eaten at before. Because I was really a guy who didn't really go down to Pittsburgh much. We ate at Fatheads the other day, that was amazing. So I was pretty excited about it.
Really good, yeah.
Really excited to, venture out and see everything down south for once.
Dylan, do you have any recommendations? You did the whole Oakland thing and lived in Southside for a little bit. Fatheads is a great start, though. That great burger.
I know I ate the O as well a while back, and that was amazing too. So,
ooh, R.I.P.
It was gone.
It's gone, man.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to be the one to break it to you.
Oh, shit.
No,
take as much time as you need to process that. That was a tough loss for all of us.
I remember eating that before, going to the Pitt wrestling matches. It was, dang, I didn't know it was gone. That's crazy.
Hopefully that wasn't what you made your decision on to come back here. So, have you ever been to Archie's? You ever get wings at Archie's in Southside?
I don't think so. Like a majority of places I've been to down there for real.
That's a must. Fiore's Pizza over on West Liberty Avenue in Brookline. We'll send you a list. We'll send you. You have had that.
All right.
We'll send you a list of all the places you got to hit. Yeah. So Donovan, this has been great. We really appreciate you hopping on with us. But before we let you go, we're gonna go with a little all-out blitz segment. We call it. We're basically just gonna throw a bunch of questions at you at once. David, I don't know that we exactly prepped for this all that well, so we're just gonna go for it and see what we can hit Donovan with. So, I'll start it off. Who's the best player you've played against at any level?
Who's the best player I played against? That's something I've never thought of. Dang. Well, starting in high school, I know that I did play against Phil. I did play with Phil Dracovic. I did play against him. That was my freshman year. I was a baby.
All right, wait. Well, we can do a little sidetrack on Phil since you brought it up. How good was he?
Oh my gosh, he that was the one year that he annihilated us our freshman. Oh, I know I wasn't playing. I started the whole second quarter. So no, I started the whole third quarter. Yeah, because my coach was like, we're not giving up, but it's 56-7.
I think don't feel bad. He did that to everybody he played.
Yeah, that year was crazy. He was just something to watch. I was like, whoa, that was crazy. There's a lot of guys I played against. We played against Joey Porter Jr. in a bunch of 7-on-7s. When it comes down to college football, I played against so many good guys. And I really want to go back and really see the guys that I got a chance to play against, and all the guys who are really good right now, but all I know is that they're going to be amazing in the future. I don't know if you guys know, Evan Stewart from Texas A&M, number 1 receiver. He's a freshman.
He was one of the 5 stars they got, right?
Yeah, he's crazy. I tackled Jameson Williams on a kickoff.
Wow.
Yo.
Bama. Dang. See, we can go on another podcast. I'm really gonna go back and really watch every game and be like, okay, I played with him. I played against Spencer Rattler, and he's up and down. He just went and absolutely annihilated Tennessee, and Tennessee was supposed to, make the playoffs. So
right.
I don't know. There's a Bryce Young, guys like that. So
I played against Anthony Richardson in practice too.
I did, and he doesn't like to say it, but I picked him off a few times too.
Did he break all your fingers because he can't seem to throw a ball less than 80 miles an hour?
Oh, I think it's around 100 miles per hour. So
Right.
In the video of him throwing 85 yards, I'm like, oh my gosh. I ain't gonna lie. He's probably the greatest athlete I've ever seen in person. He's ridiculous.
Oh yeah. So to get back on track with All Out Blitz, I was going to ask, what pro team do you think he matches up with best? Where do you want to see him play next level?
Oh, Pro team. I don't know. I feel like he really, like, as a quarterback, he excites me as like he could really like be like prime Cam Newton. Like that's who I see him as,
Mm-hmm.
and he's even a better athlete. That's what's crazy.
Oh yeah.
And I think if the right coach and the right system, gets him involved, get him an O line and a team with a fairly decent defense, like he can make anything shake with any kind of receivers on the field. Like he's gonna make something. He's gonna be able to scramble, use his legs. He's gotta. In my opinion, I think he's got to stay healthy. He stays healthy, he's going to be one of the best NFL quarterbacks next year. So,
What's the loudest stadium you've played in?
I think the Swamp was the loudest, and it was because the Bama game last year. That was the loudest. That was the loudest game I've ever been in my life. Like I think it was the loudest event. That was the loudest thing I ever heard. Like it was crazy. I know it was like the highest decimal that week for the loudest stadium. A close second was Tennessee this year. That was loud, just because our stadium goes straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And, orange, yellow, orange, white, orange, white, orange. It's pretty crazy. And then A&M would have been a lot louder, but they didn't have many people in theirs. But the Swamp gets really loud. It's like a fishbowl. It's insane.
Traps the sound down in.
Yeah.
What is your favorite wrestling move?
Well, probably a throw, some kind of throw, to be honest. Headlock or probably a headlock, I ain't gonna lie. Something like that. Wrestling move, probably like either a throw or like a double leg takedown, just because it correlates to football. There's nothing like clean double leg where you just throw the dude like 4 or 5 feet back from where he was standing at before. So yeah.
I'm partial to the 619 by Rey Mysterio. But how about what's on your playlist right now? Who you listening to the most?
Drake. I'm a Drake guy. Drake's number one. They're probably like a Future. Yeah. But I like everything. Like I have what's it called? I don't know what it is. It's probably 97 at right now, 97 hours playlist, 97-hour playlist song. It's like with thousands of songs, and it's everything. It goes like I'll be listening to a rap song, and then it'll go to a country song, and then it'll go to like a Disney song, and R&B song, and then it'll go back to rap, and then like it's crazy because the only thing that's bad about it is I'll be in like a mood where I want to listen to like R&B, then it would be like some kind of Cars playlist song.
Life is a highway.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to picture getting hyped up for a game and like the soundtrack from Frozen comes on. But hey, if it gets you ready to blow Drake May out of the water, I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's the Lion King song for me that comes on, or Tangled.
Oh yeah. Well, we really appreciate the time you spent with us. This has been great. We're so excited to have you back home and ready to play for the Panthers next year. And we're excited to watch you step into that role. Big shoes to fill with Hallett and Hill leaving, but your pedigree really speaks for itself. So we're pumped to have you. We really appreciate your time, and thanks for coming on, and best of luck.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Hail to Pitt.
You know it.